Hi guys, Showmofo here, back with some more Robocraft fun, and today a little bit of an interesting thing. I've actually got some videos that I need to be posting online about Robocraft, and I haven't got around to producing them and uploading them yet. So this one's a little bit out of sequence, but it's for something a bit special, and I just wanted to get this one up first. So it may or may not be noticeable, in my bays and stuff. Things might be different and out of sync with what's going to happen in subsequent videos because they will have been recorded before this one. So if you notice any weird things like my RP jumping around or anything like that without any kind of explanation, that's what's happened there. Anyway, over the last couple of days I've been in the gameplay feedback of this section on the forums and adding my input to this, which I've got to say has mostly been kind of defending against plasma bashing that we seem to have had a spate of lately. It seems that with the rails being nerfed, there's a lot more flyers getting out and having a play, and it seems some people's first line of coping with this is to come and complain about it on the forums. So they've been getting bashed, and then I noticed this topic here, talk of counterplay, and I must admit when Warbrand posted this video here, and by the way, if you don't know extra credits videos, they can be quite good. They're not the be all and end all, and I wouldn't take everything they say as carved in stone and that they offer perfect solutions. Quite often I've noticed in their videos they'll offer up something that doesn't really then have an explanation, and they get on to the next thing but use that thing as reasoning. In my example in this video, they talk about snipers, and if you read through on here you'll see my comments about this. But anyway, when I first read this, just a simple start of talk, I see too many people just saying X is overpowered, nerf it, or Y is useless against X. This shows there is a lack of counterplay, blah blah blah. The points to talk about are here, as in the video. What counterplay is in Robocraft, where is lacking in the game, and my thing was just intuitively with what had been going on, I thought, well, this is just a plasma bashing thread in disguise. I was about to write a response along those lines, and then I just thought, no, actually, you know what, give it the benefit of the doubt. It's not titled as such, it doesn't specifically mention plasma, it mentions X and Y, and by me being all defensive, what I would have probably done was hijack the topic and make it about plasma when it's not actually about that. So I restrained from that, and then I had a little think, and I read what people had written. Yeah, so this is what I'd written in my first response, which is, yeah, but if you notice in the video they never come up with a solution to the sniper problem. There is plenty of counterplay. What is needed is more team play. This is my opinion, of course. Clans will be coming out at some point, and then hopefully we'll get a lot more coordination from team players, as well as experience sharing and hopefully more incentive to learn skills and improve than to complain on forum about X. A lot harder to do when your buddy in the clan is higher on the leaderboard and it seems to rinse through those X users no problem. Maybe the clan system could even introduce a spectate tutor mode, kind of like in TF2, where the MVPs of the clan could go into spectator mode of a player who is new or frustrated or just wants tips, and could spectate from bay to battle giving tips. In-game voice chat would be so helpful here. More expense for free jam, but maybe they could monetize the clan system somehow. Maybe special cosmetics, i.e. clan badges, flags, or even pay for the ability to set up a clan. I'm quite full of ideas on this now, so I'm going to stop typing here, repost this in the what I would like to see part of the forum, and get cracking on a video demonstration, and hopefully I'll get to that in this video. And if we click on this link here, I've put in here things you'd love to see in Robocraft. Clan ? Spectating tutor from bays to battle. Smiley face. Okay, so explain there about while replying in that thread we've just looked at that I came up with this, and I essentially reiterate what I've just read aloud to you. I enjoyed this. Shukran, spectating real time means that you can have someone helping from outside of the match, which is unfair, or I missed the point. Yes, Shukran, you missed the point. I think what you're thinking is that the spectator in this setup is similar to the spectator when you die and you can kind of like move the camera around and look about. You'd have a fixed view, which means you'd only be able to see what the player can see on the screen, which is no different to having a friend in your living room or wherever it is that you're playing the game, sitting there next to you, watching you play and trying to offer helpful advice. Yes, it's unfair. Just let's play League of Legends and wait for my co-pilot to tell me where our opponents so I won't gank forever. And this is the worst one. Let's have a co-pilot while I play poker to tell me which cards have opponents I won't ever lose. Well, I'm afraid that that is spurious logic. You know, if you're watching a, if you translated this to a poker game, you wouldn't be able to see the cards that the other player had. You would just be able to offer advice on what the person you're trying to help has in his hand and what he could do. And you can see all of this. You know, and my kind of thing I envisage is stuff like, stop shooting at the guy, his weapons are gone, focus on the two remaining guys shooting at you, often something people miss. You can't see where the plasma is coming from, stop spinning the camera around wildly and look up, again one that I've seen from videos complaining about mystery shooters, yet they've never actually looked anywhere except in wild flaying circles on the ground next to them. Or, don't follow those guys, they're going to get killed, hold back with these dudes, they look more experienced players. Yeah, you know, don't follow the noob rush if all of those craft that are heading on the noob rush look like poor builds. Stick with the guys that look like they've got nice builds and are offering a bit more sensible gameplay. You know, sort of that kind of advice. So if you have any thoughts on the topic, put it in this thread here. I'll put links to these. And before I carry on with this, something else that I thought of on the counter thing when people were talking about we'd started comparing it to first-person shooters, and so what I said, one of the counters that's missing from that then, if you're comparing it to first-person shooters, is the idea of health, either in the term of pickups or a medic class. And so I've put in also a repair beam weapon idea that I've proposed. And again, this has come from that Counterplay thread, an idea I got from that, which is if we're comparing this game to a first-person shooter, the missing mechanic is healing, either as pickups or class. Maybe introduce a repair beam weapon and give that player RP based on CPU restored. Like the other weapons, you can only have a repair beam as your weapon. Higher tier repair beams are more effective, but take up more physical room, CPU, and have a higher robot rating. That would then introduce a medic class that wouldn't be limited to ground units, as would happen with pickups, which would be impractical for flyers, obviously. Somebody, I think, is complaining about it, saying it's finicky and gimmicky to balance. Somebody saying that they like my idea, but it would be... oh no, sorry. That's me jumping ahead. He's saying it's finicky and gimmicky to balance, and he's already had a glass reconstruction gun, which is his idea of repairing, but it only repairs to the form of armoured glass. Now, I really like that idea, but it's got a problem, whereas at T10 it would be utterly useless, and also we don't have glass thrusters or radar, etc. So my solution, and picking up a bit from his idea, was to, as the tier increases of the repair beam, it increases the tier it can restore, and then the beam itself restores from lower tier to a max of the original item by bracket. So for example, a tier 1 repair beam, that could restore blocks and weapons up to T1. A T5 beam could start repairing at T1 level, and over time it then repairs up to T5, which would mean over-tiered craft would never be fully restored unless an over-tiered beam, repair beam, was in play. And a T10 beam would start, say, somewhere around T7. This way it wouldn't be a quick fix heal, it would be healing over time to the level of your medic. Healers themselves wouldn't cause an imbalance, as good TF2 players know to target the medic and not the heavy being healed, you know. And unlike TF2, the medics in this case wouldn't be able to deal any damage because you're only allowed one weapon type in this game. So it would encourage more team play to keep the medics alive. And I've also added a side note to say that I would also increase the range of the beam with tier. I also think it would reduce the use of over-tiered glass cannons in T1, etc., as they're prone to being one-shotted and therefore could not be healed. You know, if they're just destroyed straight away because they've spent all of their CPU on a weapon and they've got a very small craft and it gets one-shotted, then they're not going to get healed. They're out of the game. Whereas an over-tiered T1 medic could be running around, you know, trying to heal everybody and stuff and dodge that fire. And if he gets one-shotted, well, he's out the game, and that's bad. So everyone's got to try and keep that guy alive. You know, I think that would be very fun. Not sure how hard it would be to implement into the game, but I just thought it would be an interesting thing to have in there. So anyway, if we get back onto the idea of a spectator in the game. Now just imagine I'm going to go to an empty bay here. Thank you. And we're going to imagine I'm a new player. And I've got myself into a terrible mess, and I'm just not having any fun. So I'd come in here, and what I'd do is I'd probably go to my social tab, and I'd have a clan thing or something here, and in the clan options, much like on friends, where oh, you could even do it from your friends list, I suppose. You could have start chat, invite to platoon. You could also have a bit that would say something like invite mentor, something like that, and maybe it would be accessed from the friends, maybe it would be accessed from the clans, maybe it would be accessed from both. And so you could just, instead of invite to platoon, you could invite to spectate, or you could invite to oh, that just reminds me. Yeah, part of the other thing I thought of in response to somebody, if we go back here. Okay, while we're discussing the tutors, let's see. Somebody was complaining about it being unfair. Yes, it was that Shukran. And I was saying it's not unfair if everyone can do it. Yes, in theory, already proficient players could see the system to get a co-pilot. Maybe that's how you can monetize it, by buying a co-pilot chair or block. And then I came up with some variants for the game, which would be a black box. So imagine a small one cube size item, and it's a little black box, and you can stick it on your craft, and then that allows you to record gameplay to post videos onto Steam or YouTube, and that could be monetized single cube size. A comms system, similarly, a little block that you could put, and that would allow in-game voice chat clients, and again you could always monetize that, as I imagine voice chat would cost Free Jam some money. So you could have a monetized single cube size, and then you could have your co-pilot seat, and that would allow another player to spectate and use the Tutor HUD and voice client. Now that's a free block, but it's the same size as the pilot chair, so it's a bit harder to get onto your craft. And I'm not sure about whether, you know, you'd have a HUD or the voice client. I mean, obviously you'd really need the voice client to have the spectator thing work as a tutor. But you know, these are just throwing ideas out there. Let's see. Yeah, so imagine we're in here and you invite somebody, and I don't know whether we need a little seat to add to the craft, but certainly in terms of building, I could be in here not having an idea of what to do at all, and they could come in and say, well, start off by placing a white cube on the floor, and then place a few more on top. And then they could basically talk me through, you know, they could say, press Q to bring up your inventory, and select one of those blocks. No, not that block, select this block, you know, and talk you step by step into building a reasonable build, or have a look at a build that you've already done, and give you some tips on how to refine it. And then you could take them into the battleground. So, let's just go into... who should we take out? Who do I fancy taking out? We can take out... Dun, dun, dun. Where is he? There we go. Let's have this fella out. Really, I'm enjoying this guy at the moment, by the way. Yeah, so we'd go into battle. Okay, so what I would have envisaged is the tutor can now see what I'm seeing, and as well as that, maybe he could press the W, A, S and D keys to put indicators as to which way to go, so that when he's telling me to turn right and I start turning left, he can start pressing D and I go, oh, you mean that right, I get you. And he could probably say useful things like, why don't you follow those guys down, but hang at the back, you know, and maybe you want to look up in the air for some flyers. Oh, okay, thanks for that, that's useful info. And then he can say, oh, see that red thing down there? There's a player down there. See where they're shooting? Check the other way first, and then join in. Oh, ouch. Saying that's a plasma player, you don't want to get too close to him. And it looks like you're taking SMG fire too. Look behind you. You know, just useful stuff like that. And as you can see, even if he'd said those things to me, that doesn't help in the slightest. But now I'm dead, and I'm in spectator mode, but he's still with me. So he could just have a little bit of time to talk about it. Maybe we could look around at the other players and he could tell me what they're doing or what they should be doing. And maybe then we could escape. We could come back into the game and he could review the gameplay and we could discuss it about what should have gone on. Now, I think Shukran's view is that it will cause people cheating. Or giving some people an unfair advantage. In all honesty, it won't. As I said, it's no different to having somebody sat next to you while you're playing the game, watching what you're doing and offering advice. Now, if you're a good player, a backseat driver really won't help you. It will just be distracting and annoying. And honestly, some of my friends, if they're around and we're playing and I try and offer advice, they just throw me the most evil glares. And oh my gosh, some of the foul language that comes out of them, because they're really engrossed in the game, you know, and they're trying to concentrate and you're saying things and it's distracting, and oh, it can cause all kinds of blue murder. It's just terrible, terrible. But if you're a new player and you need that advice and you're willing to cooperate with a mentor, then it could be invaluable. As I said, you know, in the forum, people who want to communicate with each other effectively, it's actually a waste of a player to use a spectator tutorial, tutor kind of mode, you know, or mentor, whatever you want to call it, because actually then they're a player down. People already platoon with each other and use voice clients, you know, TeamSpeak, Skype, Steam, whatever, to communicate with each other effectively, and they can coordinate their game much better. And you know, they're really, and when you see those guys platoon together, you know you're in for a tough time, or you're really happy to have them on your team, because you know they do well, because they're coordinating their gameplay and they're calling shots to each other from what they can see from each of their own perspectives, and that's much more effective. So I don't really think you could abuse the system to kind of give someone an advantage. As you saw there, even if somebody was calling stuff out to me and I wasn't particularly a great player, if anything, it may cause panic, and it may be more a case that the useful discussion happens after the battle and before the battle, and the mentor really just wants to kind of nudge the person into a few things and take the time to explain stuff and go over it a few times until the player's got the hang of stuff. You know, I really don't think it would give you any kind of an edge for somebody who is a good player already knowing what they're doing and then having a backseat driver kind of shouting stuff at them and just essentially distracting them. So anyway, that was a really quick video, and I just wanted to get that out to kind of explain my point on the forums, and also to get your guys' attention that, you know, there is a lot of stuff being discussed on the forums that I think quite a few players miss. And I also think as well, you know, a lot of people, the first time they go onto the forums is just to complain about something. And they go on and they're all upset because something has happened, they've been destroyed or whatever, or they feel they've been badly done to. And their first port of call is to make a post on the forum complaining about it, which is a terrible, terrible mistake. What you want to do is, before you even get to that point, one of the first things you want to do is, there is a wealth of information on this forum. Robo Engineering has got many lovely topics about how to make better builds, and will point you to written tutorials as well as videos on YouTube that you might not have seen. The multiplayer talks about the game in general. There's gameplay feedback. Unfortunately, gameplay feedback seems to be the overall kind of go-to place for people to post. I think it's because it's the top one on the list. We've got one for things you'd love to see in Robocraft, which is the good place to post your suggestions about things you'd like to see implemented. And another one that gets missed quite a lot, again, a lot of people tend to post it in the gameplay feedback or the multiplayer, is the tech support and bug issues. So if you're having a problem, then what you really want to do is, and also remember this, don't just post the problem. Yeah, there are search functions, read through posts. Somebody may already have started a thread, and your problem, or whatever it is, may well have already been answered. So before you just jump to posting something, actually take a little bit of time. Do a bit of research, see if you can find the solution already written out for you. If not, then of course, by all means, throw your voice in there, start your own thread. All you have to do is say we go to the tech support and bugs. All you have to do is scroll down to the bottom, give it a topic title, and of course, with the topic titles, please make them clear. You know, there are so many titles in here that are misleading or just poorly thought out. Like, oh my god, what is wrong with this? In all caps. Well, most people with any sense will probably not even bother reading that. All caps is not going to draw attention to your thing. What is going to draw attention to your thing is writing something like, what is the problem with X weapon coping with blah blah blah, you know? Or why does this thing happen to me? And actually specify what the thing is. Don't just say, why does this happen to me? Because that doesn't tell anyone anything, and with those kind of posts, a lot of people would just overlook it. So try and give yourself a good description. So, you know, game freezes computer tells you a little bit something about the guy's problem, whereas, oh my god, what is happening here? In caps followed by exclamation marks and question marks really doesn't tell you anything about the guy's problem. You log in to the forums just on the logout bit at the top here, and you just use your Robocraft username and password to get in, and then you can post away and you can comment on all of this stuff. Also, a lot of people come on and try and report hackers and cheaters, and they do that all over the place. A lot of them, as I say, tend to come straight into gameplay feedback, I think because it's the top one in the forum. But actually, I believe if you go to multiplayer, yeah, here we go, new ways to report cheaters, hackers, rule breakers. So if you have an issue with a player and you've managed to get some evidence such as screenshots or a bit of video, you can just go onto this thread and add your thing to there, and moderator will come and have a look at it, and if he thinks your evidence is sufficient, then that player will be dealt with accordingly, you know. Yeah, just a quick video to show you guys that kind of stuff. What I'm thinking, hopefully to encourage some more players onto the forums to discuss Robocraft, the future of the game, your feedback, your suggestions for future stuff, or just to help you learn to be a better player or to build better craft. You know, get on there. There is a wealth of knowledge, and you know, the more people debating and discussing the games, that I think the better the forums will become. So I'll just give a quick shout out to the whole, whoa, what? A whole 17 likes now on Facebook. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. It looks like I'm on 1,300 plus subscribers. It's my birthday soon, and then there's Christmas. I really would like to have 2,000 subscribers before then. That would be so nice, but you know, 1,500 would be a bonus for my birthday. If we can get that out for November, that would be awesome, guys. I would love that. But thank you to all my subscribers, and thanks especially to my early subscribers who helped get the word out about this channel, helped get it seen on YouTube. And I think we'll finish off with a proper little game in here where I just shut up and have a quick play and try and get my victory bonus. Okay, got one guy heading that way. Looks like, oh, he may well be going to his doom, mightn't he? I don't think I'm going to follow that guy in. So we've only got one flyer going in on support. Can I see that plasma bomber? That may have deterred him from coming over. May well have got his attention now, so try and get out of here. Oh, I can see him now. Oh, I could see him for a second. It's firing in my direction. Move, move, move. Whoa, and I've flipped. My steering is now reversed. If I come over this, I might be able to flip back the right way. No. Oh, I hate flipping in this thing. Really, when I get some CPU, I may well be adding some flippers to this. Can we get back? No. Oh, well, never mind. Just have to have reverse steering. Come on, get the right way up. Get the right way up. Oh, do it, you beast. There we go. No, 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 too much. Oh dear. Please, somebody come and tutor me on how to play the game. Oh. Plasma coming in. Yep, those plasma bombers are really OP, so take care of them. But of course it's the SMG dude who's doing me in. Yep, there we go. So that plasma bomber was OP and destroyed me instantly, whereas that SMG fella, he had no chance against me at all. There's a nice rail crane. I just don't have any luck with them. Let's see what else is going on. Okay, well that was quite a poor performance, but if you notice, my first reaction is not to go onto the forum and post about it. And how OP everything else was. That was entirely my fault. It was my build that can't cope yet with being flipped. I can sometimes get out of it, and I usually try and avoid situations that put me in that position in the first place. But let's see. Flippers. Alignment rectifier. What do these run to? Oh, they're only 18 flops. Have I got enough to get one of these bad boys in here somewhere? Don't really like having them right on the edge because that could be shot out. But needs must for the time being. Now, will just one do it? Okay, so I'm just going to sit still for a bit. I'm going to use shift to bring me right down onto the floor so I don't drift too much. So it thinks I'm still. I'm going to hold F down to flip. And that flips me right up in the air. Let's try and get upside down and see if it helps. Okay. Come on, land on your back. There we go. Okay, now can I flip? Oh, that's awesome. Well, of course, as soon as I've got some more CPU, I'll try and get another couple of those onto there. Okay, so these were what, 18? So I've only got 10 flops, so I couldn't add any more of them. Unless the other ones are like 5 each or something then. No, 14 flops. Ideally I'd want another couple of those to stick on the front because I'm a finicky one, unless one would fit there in the central column somewhere, or maybe on here. I could probably get away with sticking one there. So I've got one on the front or back. If the back gets damaged and that one disappears, it'd be handy to have one up the front, and vice versa. But yeah, that's kind of fixed that guy. So let's have another one of these before we go. Okay, let's see what's going on. Looks like we've got one flyer. Oh, we're kind of huddling around. Look at this. Look at all these guys actually waiting to see what is happening. Okay, looks like some of us are venturing around here. I shall hide back here and keep my eye out for enemy flyers. Oh, we've got a couple of flyers. One on each side of the map. Nice. Oh, somebody's level 100, well done. Looks like the enemy team has possibly gone on the opposite side of the map to us. Oh, we've spotted a tank over here. Where are our guys in relation? Oh, they've got a rail aimed that way, so... it sounds like they're nice and busy fighting over there. Hopefully be able to come in and flank them now. Oh, a flyer. Good, flyer's gone. Oh, a plasma bomber. Not good. They're OP, so we have to be very careful of the OP plasma bombers. Again, try and flank them. Oh, tricky. Rail guy, ouch. Oh, and dead. Yep, so again I was destroyed by an OP plasma bomber, and there was not much I could do about that. There you can see our team's OP plasma bomber there is flying around, destroying all the enemy players. Okay, well I think that's quite enough of that. Okay guys, well thanks for watching that. And I'm going to do a little play now. I think I'm going to be going through getting all my victory bonuses. And I've got an issue with this fella. Ran out of CPU. Oh, should I show you this for some comedy value? I think maybe you might have to watch the next couple of videos to see me building that and then running out of CPU, and then the whole kind of thing. I've just got to weigh up what I'm doing with this, whether to trash it and start again, or whether to wait for megabots or I think I've even got a solution to it. I'm waffling on too much. There's no context for you. You haven't seen the video. I'm not going to show it to you now. You'll have to wait to see that next time. But yes, please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think about my suggestions. And if you're going to let me know about the suggestions, please go onto the forums and take a look on the gameplay feedback and the things you'd like to see in Robocraft. And what I'll do is I'll put in the description links to these threads that I've been contributing to the site, and then you can throw in your 2 penneth for everyone to see. Okay guys, hope you enjoyed that. I'll see you next time. Bye bye!